Hi, and welcome to the farmstead. We appreciate you being here. Today's vlog, I thought you could cook with me. We'll be making a pan-seared pork loin chop with canned new potatoes and honey dill steamed carrots. Let's get started. Now I'm using a locally grown pork loin chop that has been thawed out and brought up to room temperature. You can use bone in, bone out. It's just really the thickness of the chop that matters. These particular chops are bone in and about what I would say would be like a thick 1/4 inch cut. The next very important step is to make sure that you dry your chops completely. This will help you get a really nice pan sear even with only using a dollop of oil. Next, take a little oil. I'm using extra virgin olive oil, just a little bit here because obviously there's some fat on this pork, but I'm rubbing it and massaging it in. This is going to allow the seasonings to adhere to the pork better. Now for the seasonings, this is one of my go-to blends. I'll do salt, pepper, a little all-purpose seasoning. This one's from the Ashery in Millersburg, Ohio, up in Amish country. Next, I'll do a little bit of granulated garlic or powdered garlic. And then what gives it the love that my husband so enjoys is last you're going to put on a generous amount of smoked paprika. Once you're done with your paprika, you're going to flip, rinse, and repeat and apply the same seasonings all over again. Now the paprika is going to give you a smoky flavor that you're not only going to taste but smell. It's going to be reminiscent of you cooking outside on the grill. Only you cheat and you do it inside in your pan. It's a win-win. Now once you have everything in, give it a little love and rub. Put all your intentions of a good dinner and healthy food into your body. And let's get ready for our side. A little bit of water in the bottom of a pan and some store-bought baby carrots. We are going to steam these for an easy side. Back to the chops. Bring your pan up to temp. You want to sear them. A little bit of oil, a teaspoon. Spread it around. Don't do it with the tip of your spatula. Flip it over. You'll see you can coat the whole bottom with just a little bit of oil. A little bit of oil is going to go a long way because of the fat on those chops. And once everything is nice and hot, place them in the pan and listen for your sear to begin. Now I talked about the thickness of the chops. This is where it's important because a 1/4 inch thick chop really, if your pan is nice and warm and hot, should pretty much sear in about 5 to 7 minutes and be ready to be flipped over. After your 5 to 7 minutes, you're going to notice that the blood has released up to the surface and they're beginning to brown all the way around the edges. They should release from the bottom of your pan with little effort whatsoever. And then when you flip them, it'll reveal the nice goodness you created by doing that sear and just letting them be for those 5 to 7 minutes. If you're doing it right, the aroma should be making your mouth water about now. Now let's get back to those carrots. They're nice and steamed, time to drain. Now when you drain that water, save it, let it cool, and feed your plants. While the carrots are resting, let's give a closer look to how our chops are doing. You can see since we flipped them over, the blood now is coming up through the other side. We'll let them go on this side another 5 minutes, and then we'll give them another flip. Now, depending on the heat of your pan, the pan you're using, how crowded they are, after you flip them the second time, they could take an additional 2 to 3 minutes. Of course, mine took about 2 minutes, and at which time I'm ready to take these babies out and let them rest. Now, to make my easy weeknight dinner even easier, I am using canned new potatoes that I have rinsed and drained, and I am just taking those potatoes and plopping them right on top of all of that goodness, throwing in just a splash of water to break loose the sticky bits on the bottom. Now, instead of a little water, you could use chicken stock, beef stock, vegetable stock, just so you break those bits up off the bottom. Spread them out in a nice even layer after this, because that's what's going to give you a little bit of crispiness to your taters to go with your beautiful pork chops. And while those are getting nice and brown and delicious and coated in all that smoked paprika and garlic goodness, let's get back to our carrots. Now this is one of my favorite ways to do carrots. Just going to use a little bit of butter, and a little bit for me, maybe a lot for you, but I'm going to use 2 teaspoons here in my carrots. And for good measure, I'm going to go ahead and put 2 teaspoons over in on the potatoes just to give them a little bit extra crispiness while they're cooking while I'm doing the carrots. Now, to season my carrots, I'm going to grab last year's dill that I dried. It's about a teaspoon or a half a teaspoon of dill, some granulated garlic, salt and pepper, and then the ingredient that's best loved in our house, honey. This will take that sweet carrot and make it just a little sweeter. Give it a little mix and toss. And now we're going to also turn over our potatoes. Don't mind if they stick a little, just scrape the bottom. Those crunchy sticky bits are the best. Now, unlike fresh potatoes, you'd give them a flip and another spread out on the pan and let them cook some more. But with the canned potatoes, one flip is good enough. Time to serve dinner. Of course, Sean is going to get the largest chop on the plate. We'll set that down, and then we cannot forget to add the juice that has come out of those chops while they've been resting. Of course, he's going to need a pretty generous portion of those fried potatoes. And cooked carrots aren't his favorite. He prefers them raw, so they are al dente, but we'll give him just a few. And that's it. Dinner is served. Easy weeknight meal. Took me 30 minutes. I will put all of the ingredients that I use down below in the description. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Farmstead again. Please take a moment to like, subscribe, and share. And until next time, have a great day.